If your teen talks back, shuts down, rolls their eyes, or flat out ignores you, is that disrespect or something else? In this video, we're going to break down what many parents call attitude and look at what that behavior might really be doing. Because if you keep treating autonomy like disrespect, you're going to miss the most important part of your teen's development. So let's unpack it. Here's what I see all the time. A teen tries to assert themselves, and the parent immediately labels it as disrespectful, rude, or unacceptable. But let's zoom out. A teen who says, "You don't get it," or "Why do you always assume the worst?" isn't being defiant for fun. They're trying, imperfectly, to differentiate, to say, "I'm not just your child, I'm my own person." And while that might sound messy, it's not rebellion, it's development. If you treat every pushback as disrespect, you'll either clamp down harder or give up completely, and neither response builds trust. What does? Recognizing that disrespect might actually be a clumsy attempt at independence. Let's talk about what's really happening when your teen rolls their eyes, huffs, or storms off. They're dysregulated. They're flooded with emotion. They're struggling to articulate their needs, so they default to tone, avoidance, or sarcasm. Does that make it okay? No. But if you only respond to the tone and not the message underneath it, you'll escalate instead of connect. So instead of snapping back, try this. Pause. Ask yourself, what might this behavior be trying to protect? Because often it's covering up shame, fear of being misunderstood, or the need to feel seen as capable. Most teens don't say, "Hey, I'm feeling really vulnerable right now." They say, "Just leave me alone." And your job isn't to take the bait, it's to stay steady. So how do you know the difference? Here's one way to think about it. Disrespect tears the relationship down on purpose. Autonomy tests the relationship as a way to grow it. If your teen is trying to make more choices on their own, questioning your rules, wanting privacy, pushing back on your opinion, that's not necessarily a problem. That's the beginning of self-authorship. Of course, it may come with big emotion, tone, and clumsiness, but your job isn't to squash that, it's to guide them through it without collapsing into control or chaos. When you feel disrespected, the instinct is to reclaim control, to demand better tone, to enforce consequences, to shut it down. But here's the paradox. You can't punish someone into maturity, and you can't demand respect from someone who feels unseen. So what works? Name the need behind the behavior. You seem frustrated. Do you want more say in how this goes? Hold the line without reacting. I'm open to hearing you when we're both calm. And model respect even when they don't. "I won't match your tone. Let's try again later." These aren't passive responses. They're powerful acts of emotion regulation. You're teaching your teen how to have hard conversations by showing them, not shaming them. Now let's be clear. Sometimes your teen is being disrespectful. Sometimes they're testing the boundaries not because they want growth, but because they want control without responsibility. So what do you do then? You hold firm. You don't collapse into appeasement or explode with blame. You say, "I care about you too much to let this kind of behavior be the norm. Let's take a break and reset." Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you model and something you expect with consistency. Your teen isn't trying to make your life harder. They're trying to make sense of their own. And that journey will be messy. But if you can stop labeling everything as disrespect and start seeing the signals underneath, you won't just have fewer fights, you'll have more trust. If this gave you a new perspective, hit subscribe.